Did you know that the word Hamas is mentioned more than 40 times in the Bible? The complexity of this word and its original nuances may escape our perception due to different translations and interpretations over time. However, today we will explore how this familiar word in today's language has deep roots in ancient prophecies and how its understanding can be enriched by considering the original context of the scriptures. So I ask you to please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help us spread this video. Hamas has a linguistic root in biblical Hebrew, and its interpretation goes beyond common understanding. In Hebrew, Hamas is associated with a form of violence, injustice, and extreme aggression. The word carries the connotation of violent acts, such as robbery, oppression, and aggressive behavior. This interpretation goes beyond the more common perception of the word, which is often associated only with the Palestinian political military movement. The relevance of this linguistic analysis becomes evident when examining the biblical prophecies that mention the word Hamas. Often translated as violence, the word Hamas is not merely a name, it is an expression that, in the biblical context, carries a warning about the violence and aggression that may arise. The word Hamas is recurrent in the scriptures and the biblical context, appearing more than 40 times in various passages. This omission highlights the importance of exploring the original linguistic nuances and different layers of meaning that may be present in the word Hamas when considering the scriptures in their original language. When Hamas chose this name in Arabic, the phonetic similarity to the Hebrew word mentioned in biblical prophecies may not be a mere coincidence. Hamas is a political military organization rooted in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, founded in December 1987 during the First Palestinian Intifada against Israeli occupation. Hamas emerged as a response to the political and social situation in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank. Initially established as a Muslim brotherhood in Palestine, its founders, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin and Abdelaziz al-Rantisi, sought to create an organization that combined political, social and military activities under the banner of Islam. Hamas's main objective is to resist Israeli occupation and establish an independent Palestinian state, including the Gaza Strip, the West Bank and East Jerusalem. The organization also incorporates an Islamic agenda, seeking to implement Islamic law in the region. The historical context of Hamas is intrinsically linked to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Its formation occurred during a period of social and political turmoil when many Palestinians felt oppressed by Israeli occupation. The movement gained popularity by engaging in social activities such as schools and health services, in addition to its military wing, the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam brigades. Over the years, Hamas has been involved in armed conflicts with Israel, including a series of conflicts in the Gaza Strip. Its presence and actions have generated controversies, being considered by some countries and organizations as a terrorist entity, while others defend its role as legitimate resistance to occupation. Hamas remains a significant actor in the geopolitics of the Middle East, playing a crucial role in regional dynamics and peace negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians. When examining the possible relationship between Hamas and biblical prophecies, some people seek to understand if current events, such as conflicts in the region, can be interpreted as the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. This approach often involves identifying semantic terms, such as the word Hamas in Hebrew, which may be associated with aspects of Hamas's actions. It is important to note that this exploration is highly interpretative and can vary significantly among different theological and political perspectives. While some see convincing correlations, others may consider such interpretations speculative and subjective. Moreover, it is crucial to approach this analysis with sensitivity, avoiding oversimplifications and recognizing the complexity of the Middle East conflict. The intersection of politics, religion, and biblical interpretation is a delicate field, and conclusions can be divergent depending on the lenses through which this phenomenon is observed. However, we cannot disregard the potential of biblical scriptures. The sacred book, besides bringing historical narratives, provides guidance and prophecies aimed at preparing people for the future. In total, 730 predictions are described, of which 596 have already been fulfilled according to the scriptures, demonstrating the authenticity and reliability of the content in the Bible. Knowing this, today we will focus on various biblical prophecies where the word Hamas is frequently mentioned. However, the translation into English, while correct, may not fully capture the breadth of meanings contained in the original Hebrew word. These prophecies foresee a period of violence and distress, and are found in various books of this Bible, such as Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Isaiah. Although these texts refer to specific historical contexts, some interpret these prophecies in light of contemporary conflicts, including those involving Hamas. In the book of Jeremiah, for example, chapter 30, verse 7 mentions, because that day is so great that there is none like it. It is a time of distress for Jacob, he will be saved from it. In this passage, the prophet Jeremiah speaks of a time of great affliction, referring to Jacob, a symbolic figure representing the people of Israel. The interpretation may vary, but many consider this time of distress as a reference to difficult moments in the history of the Israeli people, including possible connections to contemporary events such as conflicts involving Hamas. In Ezekiel, chapter 7 cites a prophecy of judgment against Jerusalem. Make chains, for the land is full of crimes of blood, and the city is full of violence. Therefore I will bring the worst of the Gentiles who will possess their houses, and I will put an end to the arrogance of the strong, and their sanctuaries will be profaned. Distress comes, and they will seek peace, but there will be no time to seek it. Disaster upon disaster will come, and there will be rumors upon rumors. These verses describe a scenario of violence, disaster, and a desperate search for peace, connecting to the theme of conflicts and afflictions discussed in the context of prophecies and conflicts involving Hamas. The mentioned prophecies can be associated with recent conflicts and trends in the Middle East. The periodic attacks between Israel and the Hamas group in the Gaza Strip can be seen as a manifestation of the violence predicted in the prophecies. The constant tension and conflicts in the region are cited as examples of a time of distress, as indicated in Jeremiah. The use of missiles by Hamas against Israel, killing thousands of innocent civilians, can also be connected to the prophecy in Ezekiel, which speaks of a land full of crimes of blood. The escalation of violence and the relentless search for solutions reflect the elements described in the scriptures. While some people see these events as the fulfillment of prophecies, the connection between current events and biblical prophecies is often subjective, depending on individual beliefs and perspectives. I want to know your opinion. Do you think all this is a mere coincidence, or indeed were these events already foretold in the Bible? Leave your comments. I want to read them as we continue. In addition to prophecies directly addressing Hamas and Israel, scriptures also contain predictions about other nations and global events. Prophecies related to conflicts between nations, transformations in human nature, and the pursuit of peace among peoples offer a comprehensive view of the global scenario. As we observe events, it is intriguing to see how these prophecies may be unfolding before our eyes. Conflicts, unexpected alliances, and geopolitical movements can be seen as manifestations of biblical prophecies, highlighting the continued and timeless relevance of these messages for understanding the world around us. Fortunately, the Bible also provides positive prophecies and an optimistic view of the situation. Isaiah's prophecy about the end of violence and the transformation of weapons into tools of peace is a powerful vision of a redeeming and peaceful future. This prophecy is found in Isaiah chapter 2 verse 4, where the prophet offers an inspiring image of what will happen in the last days. And he will judge between the nations and rebuke many peoples, and they will turn their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not lift sword against nation, nor will they learn war anymore. In this prophetic context, Isaiah paints a picture of global transformation where nations will abandon war and seek peace. The symbolism of turning swords into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks is particularly striking, representing a radical shift in mentality from destruction to construction, from war to production, and from conflict to collaboration. By connecting this prophecy to the overall theme of hope for a better future, we realize that Isaiah is conveying the promise that even in the face of adversity and conflicts, there is a vision of reconciliation and harmony. The transformation of weapons into agricultural instruments symbolizes the transition from an era of violence to an era of prosperity and cooperation. This message of hope resonates beyond the biblical context and can be applied to contemporary challenges, including regional and global conflicts. The prophecy suggests that in the end, humanity has the potential to overcome violence and build a future where peace prevails. This utopian vision serves as a beacon of hope, encouraging the search for peaceful solutions and the construction of a better world for future generations. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Click on one of the 2 videos that will appear on your screen now to continue watching. Hugs and stay with God.